What's going on, everybody? Sorry about the dirty truck back here and dirty me. I had to fix a couple things today. I'm doing a 34 right now. Kind of just hanging out in Iowa, hanging out at the shop, and had to weld my seat because I had a seat bracket break on me. I had to weld it at least until to get back to the house and get a new one installed. And also worked on the APU a little bit, trying, not that it's really saving me an astronomical amount of money, but I was kind of bored and wanted to work on it. But either way, I don't do a lot of videos on trucking really to say much there. Not really any reason for that aside from I just don't. I really am on the helping people understand and how to repair their credit. But on this particular one, I'm going to talk about something that I see going around right now, and that's how it's a bad time to be an owner-operator or a lease owner and stuff to that effect. I shouldn't really say that. It's a bad time to start doing any of these things. And quite honestly, I see a lot of bad information, a lot of misinformation going around, because what it comes down to is the bottom line and what's best for you. And not everyone's numbers are the same. So as far as me being a lease owner right now, it's not a bad idea. It's not the greatest. It was a lot better before all of this stuff happened. I will admit that. And I have seen a substantial drop in rates, as far as I was pulling, anywhere from, $2 was usually about my low end per mile. And I had freight that was going $4 a mile. It just kind of depended. The higher end stuff was contract freight for the company that I am leased to. So that stuff really hasn't changed. It's still the high end like that. So stuff like that, when I do come across them, which is, I'll pull 3-4 of those loads a month. It's not a guarantee that I'll get them, because there's other drivers in the fleet as well. But I do get them regularly, so that does help, yes. But on the typical spot market, because that's where we pull a lot of our freight from, is the spot market. And it's not as bad as what people are saying, but it's also not great. Especially some of these people out there that are calling themselves coaches, and that they pretty well have it all figured out, at least from the thing that I'm seeing. And I'm not trying to badmouth them, but I think they might want to take a little bit more time to investigate before they go and start trying to push people away from doing what might be the best decision that they've ever made. Okay, and with that said, the lower dollar freight that I'm pulling is, usually around $170 a mile right now. Is that good? No, it's not good. But that's by comparison to what we had before. For rates right now, $170 is actually not bad. I am not happy about it. I'm doing it because I know my bottom line, and I have that number figured out. And my bottom line, as well as your bottom line, needs to be, you need to add up all your household bills, whatever you have there, then what your diesel's going to be for the week, and then work it out to your month projection, and do everything off of monthly projections, and then break it down from there as far as what you've got to do per week. I don't really like doing the weekly deal unless I'm kind of trying to see what's actually going on that particular week, because at the end of the month is what matters. If you have a crappy week in the very beginning of the month, doesn't mean that you can't have 2 okay weeks and 1 super stellar week, and it evens out, or even have 1 crappy week and 3 stellar weeks. You got to play everything out, and the end of the month is what really matters. Okay, so And I'm kind of losing my train of thought now, but the thing here is that working out your bottom line, you need to know all your household bills, all your truck bills, all, you know, your insurance, your fuel, your IFTA, your just, you know, repairs, what, you know, potential repairs, all of these things. You need to know all of these things. You need to work them out to what they cost you per month. Then figure out whatever amount of miles it's going to take you to run per month at whatever varying pay scale, and figure out what your bottom line is as far as dollars per mile, cents per mile, whatever it is that you need to run. My particular bottom end, and I actually even added in a little extra fuel on this because the way that the fuel prices are right now, you know, it's kind of scary to think that we could get comfortable with them dropping off the way that they are right now. You know, am I complaining about where they're at right now? No, I'm not. But I factored my fuel prices off of this pre-coronavirus table, so that way I have a higher fuel cost even though I don't need it. And by adding it in, I'm giving myself a safety net right there. I personally believe that's a smarter way to do it because we don't know that the price may go up after all this. Who knows? I don't think it will. If it does, it's not going to be much. But my bottom line, just to cut right straight to it, on a low high end, because I did the higher fuel average, is $1.33 is the absolute minimum, and that's giving myself a little wiggle room. So $1.33 is the absolute minimum that I can run for on a 3,000 mile week. And I will tell you right now that this week I did do right at 3,000 miles, a little over, and that was because I had a shipper screw me over, a broker screw me over, however you want to look at it, and they ended up holding my trailer for 2 weeks, and I got paid a whopping $175 for that, and there was absolutely nothing I could do because they had it worded in such a way that my office didn't exactly pick up on it, and they were using the trailer for storage. So that behind us now. I had to push it a little bit harder this week because I wanted to make up for that loss. I do believe I did so, but at the same time, I haven't run any of my numbers yet. I've got a rough idea up here, and I've got $1,200 into fuel already, and I'm expecting to come out in a pretty decent position. I mean, everything's most definitely going to be paid. The fuel's definitely going to be paid. And I'm sorry, I'm tired right now. I've been up all day and working on the truck, getting stuff done. So the end of the story here is that working out your bottom line, knowing what your bottom line is, and then translating that into today's market and seeing what you can get. Okay? Just because people are out here being coaches and telling you that you're going to get $1 a mile, 98 cents a mile, 78 cents a mile, 68 cents a mile, you know, whatever it may be. I'm telling you right now, if you dig into this market, there is freight that you can easily get. And if you're not trying to haggle with these guys, you can go in there and snatch freight up for $1.50, $1.70, $1.80. And it's just a matter of looking for it. You've got the time to look. Now, if you're one of those people that can't sit still for a day and it's going to cost you more money to sit than it is to move, which, you know, that may be or may not be the truth. I think you have a little bit of wiggle room. Most people should have a little bit of wiggle room there. Me personally, I am a very antsy type person. I don't like sitting around. I know my bottom line, and I will move to an area. I will take all the way down to my lowest dollar point to get to a better area if I know I can get to a better area. I generally don't deadhead over 120 miles. It's not really a thing that I like to do. I will, in certain instances, move up to about 200 to 250 if I absolutely have to on a deadhead. But that is such a rare occurrence. Even now, that's such a rare occurrence. I don't do it. So again, going back to it, the bottom line is knowing your bottom line, knowing what your bottom dollar is, what you can move that truck for, what you can't move that truck for, what your truck payment is, insurance. Again, going all back through it. Don't let people sit here and try to convince you that right now is a bad time to get into the market as a lease owner or an owner-operator. I feel that is probably one of the most discouraging and incorrect things in my own personal opinion. I mean, do your own research, but if you know that you can make your bills and you know that you have a little bit of wiggle room, this isn't going to last forever, just like everything else. This is going to pass. How soon? I don't know. But if you can flat out buy a truck and not have a note hanging over your head, dude, you're good. Go for it. Just be careful about everything that you're doing. You know, minimize your cost on everything. If you can get into a good lease purchase, like me, I'm not at the moment going to give up the information of where I work, and it's not for any other reason aside from the fact that, number one, I don't want to cut my own throat. And number two, I know for a fact that the owner of the company, which I just spoke to, an hour ago, because he's inside the office right now, that he's not taking on any new drivers. When he says that he is opening the floodgates and is taking on more drivers, I'll gladly give out that information right now, or at that time, but not right now. Just because he's not taking any new drivers. I spoke to him personally about that because I have a few friends that wanted to come on, and he's just not doing it. And again, like I have a very good lease purchase going on with him, and my truck, when I got it, it's not a new truck. It's got its flaws, but mainly they're cosmetic. I have done a few repairs. I've replaced a couple of airbags, and they were needing that when I got the truck. So it wasn't anything that I did. And, it was just, I knew what I was getting into. I was well informed. He didn't lie to me. He, up front, this is the truck. This is what we got. This is the engine it's got. And it's got a C15 in it. And it's a good running motor. It's got about 460,000 miles on the rebuild on it. The truck has a relatively new transmission in it, or a newer transmission in it. It's a 13-speed. I just put an extension on here. I need to get a boot. You can see I'm exposed right here. But the truck, my payment and the insurance and everything on it, it's manageable. It's more than manageable. And this is 100% walk away. If I decide that I can't do it, it's in my contract. I've got a contract. I can walk away at any moment I want for any reason I want. It doesn't matter, and I don't owe a dime. I can walk completely away from this truck. It's a 2002 International 9400 Eagle. I love this truck. It's not a new truck. It's a 2002. It's got the EGR on it and everything. I do have an ELD in here, obviously, but the truck, since I've been maintaining it, minimal things. I mean, it's got some, like I said, cosmetic things, but it's all about what you're picking, what you're doing, knowing your bottom line, knowing all your numbers. That's what you need to do. That's the only thing you need to worry about doing. Don't go out here. I'm trying to get out of this light is bad right now. Don't go out here and flat out type into YouTube, is it a good time to be a lease owner or owner operator, and then take someone else's advice when they say no. Because if you go check the markets right now, there's so many people running scared. I have had 4, 5, maybe 6 people that I previously talked to about purchasing trucks, cash out up front to them across Facebook marketplaces and whatnot. And these trucks were, $20,000, $13,000. Some of them were even $10,000, and they needed work. And that's just what I'm looking at, because I don't mind wrenching. Obviously, you can see my hands are dirty right now. I don't mind wrenching to work on stuff, and that's the best attitude to have, just so you know, if you're going to be a lease owner or an owner operator. Because when it comes down to it, and you have an option to pay $1,000 to a shop guy or climb your butt down underneath there and fix it, guess what? If it saves you, even in the long run, let's say it was a $300 part, and you got to go have somebody fix it, you're looking somewhere between $600 and $1,000, just because usually you're going to pay at least double what that part cost to get it put on. It's just the way that it is, and that's if you're lucky. So $600 to $1,000 after you bought the part, or adding it in, something to that effect anyway. I don't know. It's just, I'm a little scatterbrained right now. You get what I'm getting at. It's better to get your hands dirty and learn a little bit as you go. These things are just big cars. That's all they are. Yes, it takes a lot more skill to handle them and whatnot. We all know that. But it's just a big car. Everything's bigger. Don't drop anything and smash a finger or a toe, because you're probably going to lose it when the thing is over with. But being an owner operator, lease operator, better get your hands dirty, because if you don't, you'll be spending a lot of money, and that's what's going to break you right there. Spending money to have somebody else do it. Get used to working on it. It's not meaning that you're going to be working on it all the time, but if you don't pay attention to the type of truck you buy, when you get it, you could be working on it all the time. So that's another thing. Make sure you inspect your equipment. Get out there. Don't just jump into something because, I want to do it. I want to do it. Oh, it seems like a good idea. Don't do anything like that. That's stupid, okay? Be well informed about your equipment. If anything, stop listening to these guys out here that are telling you it's a bad idea or it's a super great idea. I'm not going to say it's one way or another, even though I just said right now is a good time. In my opinion, right now is a good time, because back to the people on the Facebook marketplaces, they want anywhere from like $10,000 to $20,000 on these trucks. I've got 5 messages right now. Dude, bring me $5,000 cash and this truck is yours. And these are running trucks, driving trucks. People are running scared out of the trucking industry right now because they don't know what's happening. They were unprepared. Right now is a buyer's market. People cannot afford stuff. And, hey, if they're going to run scared, take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it. It's not your fault if somebody else was unprepared or, just is running scared. Take advantage of it. Get your hands on it. Know what you're doing, but inspect it and make sure it is a good purchase. Don't just go buy to buy. That's what I've got to say on this thing. Do your research, check things out. Stop listening to coaches that think that they know what they're talking about because they got 15, 20 years experience or something. Yes, is the experience good? Yeah, it's good to take experience and knowledge from people that have it. But when they're flat out telling you this is a bad idea and they're using biased numbers, that is the most ignorant thing. And there is one person in particular that I watch out here doing it, and it is so frustrating to watch this individual discourage people on a daily basis. And I know that probably he has good intentions, but the way that he puts it down, it is the worst possible way to do it, because it's like, in a sense, the blind leading the blind. Because he's no more of a lease owner or owner operator than the people that is trying to get into it. And he claims that he's done it before, which I don't doubt. But either way, I'm not going to complain about that person at this moment in time. I get my rant out of here. But the thing is do your numbers. Know your numbers. Search around. Go to used truck dealers and stuff like that. But I'm telling you right now, probably better to buy from a private individual. Get as much paperwork as you can. If you got a mechanic, take a mechanic with you. Go over, if you find a truck that you want, research the engine that's in it. Research the transmission that's in it, even though there's only a couple transmissions. But, research everything on it. Go over that truck with a fine-tooth comb. Crawl under it. Crawl on top of it. Check for leaks. Wiggle the drive shafts. Turn the wheel. Make sure there's no popping and cracking and banging. Drive it around. Take it around the block. If they don't want you to drive it, don't even buy it, because that's already a sign. Either way, I could carry on for hours and hours and hours about this, and this video is going to take a while to upload. So if you have any questions or comments or anything like that, leave them below. I'll get back to you. As soon as I see it pop up, I'll do my best to get back to you. Probably going to make a couple more videos tonight and whatnot. Maybe if I get enough responses, I'll do like a live. But again, do your numbers. Don't just go listening to the first person that you got out there on lease purchase or owner operator right now, I am in a fine lease purchase program. I am making money. All my bills are paid. I'm not making phenomenal money like I was, a few weeks ago, a month ago, whatever like that. And basically going out and blowing money on stupid crap, which I didn't do a lot of. Most of the stupid crap that I spent money on was like upgrading this truck and putting speakers and stuff like that in it. So, and, throwing my shifter extension on, which I do like. It shifts a lot easier in my opinion. I put another airbag on, got shocks waiting at the house. I'm investing in my truck. That's what it is. Whether it improves the performance or just overall livable quality for me, that's what I'm doing, is investing in my truck. But know your numbers. Don't take everyone's advice that it's a bad idea. I am a lease purchase operator. I am doing just fine. Some things make me cringe, but I'm out here still doing it every single day. I'm about ready to head down to Indianapolis tomorrow with a load for Pepsi. And that one right there, what is the rate on that one? Going for... It's actually going for about $2.05 or $2.10 a mile. Nope, it's going for $2 even. Just about right in there. Maybe a hair more when they throw that fuel surcharge on top. But again, it's a flat rate, so it is what it is. But it's like 201 per mile. And people are saying that they're not out there. That was a spot market load. That was booked 3 days in advance. Explain that one. Usually you book in advance and that stuff you don't get that good. You got to book like the day of in order to get it that good. Either way, I got that booked in. It's like 201, maybe 202, 203. I don't think 205, but it's right in there. It's above 2. I know that. It's out there. You got to do the numbers. You got to look for your freight. I mean, you do stuff like that, and I didn't quit moving this week. I'm actually dragging my butt right now. I'm tired because I was just moving all week long and doing short little hops, doing about 1.5 to 2 loads a day. Short little hops, 250, 300, 400 miles, 500 miles maybe. Getting them done, just moving them, making what I can make, but not ever undercutting myself. Either way, again, I can ramble on and on and on about this stuff. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, put it down below. Thank you for watching. And again, if you're curious about being a lease owner operator or an owner operator, whatever it may be, do your research, check your numbers, look for a good place to go, do your own comparisons, ask people about it. Just be very thorough. That's all I can say. Be very, very, very thorough, because at the end of the day, it's your decision, it's your bottom line, and you are responsible for the decisions you make. Don't get in over your head, I will say that. But right now is actually a good time, in my opinion, to get a truck. Not necessarily operate that truck, but a good time to purchase a truck. Whether you operate it or not is up to you. So everybody, have a great night. Thank you for watching, and I will get some more stuff out to you. Have a great day. Stay safe, and don't forget to wash your hands.